right. Well, my screen, my gallery is full, and I think that's my signal that it's time to start. We have such wonderful music tonight, and it's a little bit of a shorter night. In theory, you never know. But I'm going to start recording. So, welcome officially, everyone, to Twilight and Lullabies, a monthly gathering. We gather the first and third Thursday. The first Thursday is called No Better Time to Sing, and it's kind of a mix of all kinds of songs and flavors. Twilight and Lullabies is a little bit more of like it sounds. End of the day, calming down, little lullaby. So I hope you got your jammies on and your stuffed animals and your blankies and your cup of hot something or other. And we'll start in just one moment. I just want to welcome actually anybody who's new. Let me get the gallery on again. If this is your first time and you are on screen, I'd love to see you wave. Anybody new? Haven't had... Yeah, hi Sharon, welcome. Where are you? I'm sorry, I'm not going to ask you any questions because you can't unmute, but welcome Sharon, and to anyone else who's new, I'm so glad you're here. Tonight our theme is Earth, Mother Earth, honor of Earth Day, and Earth Lullabies. And also ongoingly we are singing of peace and Ukraine and global unity and friendship. So we're going to touch on all that tonight. Yes, Liz?
Remind people that they can use the chat, but not to chat during the songs.
And you've all heard me say it, no chatting during the songs. You get kicked out if you do. No, you won't. But it really, please, do not distract the artists. We're getting old and we need to focus, you know. Okay, so take a deep breath. You've arrived, we've chatted, we've dealt with lyrics, which should be in the chat. Yes, Liz? You can click on the link and see the lyrics for tonight, and his lyrics will be in the chat when his time comes around. Jim Scott, I will introduce him fully later on, but we're so glad you're here, Jim. And this is our Twilight and Lullabies song. We've been singing this for almost 2 years now. Lay it down. Evening falls, the day is ending. All my work, I lay it down. Let it rest until tomorrow. Day is done. Lay it down. Want to try that with me? It's in your lyrics. A lot of you probably know it. Evening falls, the day is ending. All my work, I lay it down. Let it rest until tomorrow. Day is done. Lay it down. Here's the next part. Lay it down, your every burden. Evening shadows gather round. Come sweet night and gentle darkness. Evening falls, lay it down. Let's sing it all one more time. Take a deep breath. Wherever you are, for some of you, evening's already fallen. If you're out on the East Coast, I know some of you are in the Midwest, but here in California, it's still a little bit left of the evening, but it definitely feels like time to wind down. Evening falls, the day is ending. All my work, I lay it down. Let it rest until tomorrow. Day is done. Lay it down. Lay it down, your every burden. Evening shadows gather round. Come sweet night gentle darkness, day is done. Lay it down. Come, sweet night, and gentle darkness, day is done. Lay it down. Can you just feel that in your shoulders, like, just let it all just kind of roll away. We have gotten some very blessed rain in California, in my part of California, Berkeley. How many of you got rain today? Anybody? Yeah. Oh, good. Oh, good. Oh, good. It's going around. So this is a song we've sung before, and you know, the more I sing it, the more I like it. I just sang it this morning for the meditation group that I lead on Thursdays, and gosh, it just has so much wisdom in it, and about rain, but about pain, rain and pain. So yeah, I think you've all heard it before. I didn't put it in the lyrics, but the chorus is just, we are made of rain, we are made of rain. Drop by drop of joy and pain, we are made of rain. So, well, this is by Anne Carroll Webb. When the clouds pile up on the near horizon, when the wind roars over the thirsty plain, do not despair of the storms arising, 'cause we are made of rain. Here's the chorus. We are made of rain. We are made of rain. Drop by drop of joy and of pain, we are made of rain. Let's try that together. We are made. We are made of rain. Yes, we are. We are made of rain. Drop by drop of joy and of pain, we are made of rain. When you hear the rumbling of the thunder, when your heart spins around like an old weather vane, just fling your arms wide to the coming wonder, for we are made of rain. We are made of rain. We are made of rain. Drop by drop of joy and of pain, we are made of rain. Blue from the skies falls down into the rivers that flow from the land to the sea. There the sun warms the waves into mist as it shimmers, into clouds of red breezes back to you and me. When you feel the tides rising right beside you, when you're tossed in the torrents of time and change, life's only filling the well inside you, for we are made of rain. Sing with me. We are made of rain. We are made of rain. Drops of joy, joy and pain, we are made of rain. One more time. We are made of rain. Oh, that's a good lullaby, actually. Very reassuring. It made me think of a saying, and I'm not going to get it quite right. It's from a Buddhist teacher, and it's an ancient. I think it's a fairly ancient saying, but it says, I'm going to make it she who knows she is made of the ocean is not afraid to swim. So it's sort of like, if we know that we're made of rain, we don't fear the storms. They're just part of us. It's not this other thing invading this solid human being who's all dry and tidy, It's like, no. So, thank you for singing that with me. Let's take a minute now that we've warmed up our voices and just settle in a little bit more, arrive a little more fully. I want to invite you, if you have a candle, to bring it up to the screen so we can shine a little light on each other. And sometimes people have candles and sometimes they don't. I do see a few. Thank you, Lilith and Shashton, and probably more that I'm not seeing right now. And if you didn't bring a candle, Sylvia's got one, Joanne's got one. This one is for all of us. It goes right on the little altar with my flowers and my little being. Did I show you this little being? She's really quite magical. This was made by a friend of mine named Nani, and it's all found objects, including, does this one have roadkill in it? I'm not sure, but sometimes she'll have a turtle shell or something. But she fabricates these amazing dolls, these amazing figures out of all these found things. And this one has a lot of them have a little tag that goes with them. Let's see if I can find it. Oh yeah, so this one has a little title, which will let you read it for yourself. Can you see it? Oh, wait, here we go. If you can't see it, content as it is, as I am, as you are. So let's take a moment to be content. If you'd like to, you can close your eyes, whatever's comfortable for you. Get comfortable in your seat for a minute in a way where you're a little upright and kind of alert but relaxed. Just let your spine lengthen out a little bit. Feel your feet on the floor or wherever they are. Maybe your hands are resting on your thighs. And just take a moment to just know that you're in your body, that you are a body. We are made of earth. We are solid in some ways, on some level. So just touching whatever you touch and pressing in a little. Pressing feet into the floor, maybe your back or buttocks into the chair, maybe your hands into your thighs. Just say hello to this physical world. And then allow everything to soften and relax. And just take a deep breath or two, just fill up gently and fully. We are made of air. Indeed we are. Feel the moisture, the rain in your mouth, maybe in your eyes. Feel the air, how it expands and opens and touches so many parts of us. And know that as we celebrate the earth tonight, in all her dimensions, her living beings, her minerals, her plants, her waters, air, that we celebrate our mother, our kin, literally our kin. We are made of her. Truly we are. And for so many thousands of years, human beings knew that, and they respected that, and they lived in that way. And we know now that we live in a time where there's been quite a loss of that kinship, that real reverence and honoring and being one with. So tonight we offer ourselves that. We offer ourselves that oneness, that belonging. And while we live in some ways in perilous times, we also have a deep assurance that out of the most terrible wildfire comes amazing seeds and new life. Out of every natural disaster comes a whole horde of just new ecosystems and new interrelationships. So we can just welcome it all in, all of it, all the disruption. And our next song is a little bit about that. As you can stay right doing what you're doing. You can just breathe and keep your eye closed. Be happy doing what you're doing. This is a song that's just been on my mind all week. I just couldn't get it out of my head. I don't know why. But I did sing and participate in a Seder this week, Friends, that was quite wonderful. And I sang a number of songs. This was not one of them, but it came to me and it just felt right to sing it tonight. It's based on words by Rabbi Nachman of Braslav, who lived in the 1700s, late 1700s. He was a founder of a certain branch of Hasidic practice in Belarus, I think, which is very near Ukraine, as we know. Many of you know this, I bet, but I've changed the words a little. I'm gonna sing it the way it was written initially, and this is a modern writing of an ancient saying. The rabbi said, basically said, understand that when a person must cross a very, very narrow bridge, the most important and essential thing is that they not have any fear at all. So here we are on this perilous bridge of life. So I'm going to do it with his words first, and then I'm going to do the rewrite that I did with a little nudging from Linda Hirschhorn. All the world is just a narrow bridge, just a narrow bridge, just a narrow bridge. All the world is just a narrow bridge, just a narrow bridge, just a narrow bridge. And above all is to not be afraid, not be afraid. And above all, to not be afraid at all. So Linda and I were talking about this song, and some of you remember Linda, she's sung with us several times. And she said, I don't like that part about to not be afraid. I don't think that's realistic. I think we have to be able to be afraid and walk on anyway. Or something, like we have to be afraid and still do the right thing. And ain't that the truth right now? So I changed it, and here's what I came up with. And above all is to walk through the fear. Hold on to each other, and above all is to walk through the fear. Hold on. That's a little different than the lyrics because I refined it later this afternoon, as I sometimes do. Let's sing it together. All the world. All the world is just a narrow bridge, just a narrow bridge, just a narrow bridge. All the world is just a narrow bridge, just a narrow bridge, just a narrow bridge. above all is to walk through the fear, hold on to each other, and above all is to walk through the fear, hold on. Let's do it again. All the world is just a narrow bridge, just a narrow bridge, just a narrow bridge. All the world is just a narrow bridge, just a narrow bridge, just a narrow bridge. And above all is to walk through the fear, hold on to each other, and above all is to walk through the fear, hold on. Oh, I'm thinking so much of the people of Ukraine as I sing that. Above all, the fearlessness we have seen, and I shouldn't call it fearlessness, of course they're scared. The courage that they have been showing. And you know, courage, you know, the roots of that word are cœur from French, and is from the word cœur, which is heart. So really, courage means to have heart. And I see Jim playing along on that song, and there is nothing more frustrating than musicians who love to accompany people and have to stay muted. But Jim, I can hear it. I can totally hear it. And we'll do this song together sometime. Let's just do And Above All. And above all, strong voices, and above all is to walk through the fear, hold on to each other, and above all is to walk through the fear, hold on. And this originally was written in Hebrew, and there's a beautiful, beautiful Hebrew version of it. Most of them are in Hebrew. My Hebrew is not strong enough. I didn't want to do it an injustice, but Liz just posted a link to the version that I learned this part from that has the Hebrew as well. So feel free to find that for yourself. Ah, wonderful. Well, I'm just so glad you're all here tonight. And I am incredibly glad to welcome our guest artist tonight, Jim Scott. In a way, we go way back. We may have met once or twice way back in the 90s, 80s. No, before I left Boston, so 70s, around in there. But I always knew of him because he played with the Paul Winter Consort. And I remember falling in love with the Paul Winter Consort. They were jazz, they were earth-centered, they were really creative. How many of you, wave your hand if you remember the Paul Winter Consort? Yeah. And so Jim plays glorious guitar music, has a wonderful voice, and he writes great songs too. So I know you're going to do some of the Paul Winter repertoire, at least one, maybe two of them, but also some things that are not so familiar. And Jim, just so glad you're finally here with me. We collaborated on his music night a good year and a half ago maybe, and it took this long to get it together. So please, Jim, give us your beautiful music. Let's just put our hands together and welcome Jim. You don't need to unmute. Just here we are.
Oh, Betsy Rose, flower of our musical world.
Oh, Jim Scott, you are so welcome here. I can't make it rhyme.
Yeah, I was searching for a rhyme.
I know it. Well, I was about to say you're so hot. I thought of you're so hot, and it felt really inappropriate, so I just didn't do it.
You hide your thorns so well, and you help us all to blossom and bloom. There are roses right outside this room, so I couldn't help but start making puns on your name.
All right, we'll just stop it right there.
We're in the same time zone.
I know.
We might have been playing together except for COVID rising up again, and so I'm all the way over in Novato on the other side of the bay, usually in Massachusetts. So a delight. So I'm so delighted to be here.
Oh, so glad to have
hope
you.
I can do something appropriate. I just got in the midst of what we were just doing, I would rather sing this song. There is a sing-along chorus. You're going to have to just go for yourself, everybody. Here it is.
We're very experienced at doing that, Jim.
I would just as soon let some days go by without worrying about things I haven't done. And I would just as soon let some time go by without worrying about battles never won. I would just as soon let a woman or a man live in peace on the land. And before we would judge the way they live their lives, we'd be prepared to lend a hand. Here's the chorus. There's a way and there's an ease to the life we lead. There's a dream of peace not so far away. There's a force and there's a flow to the life we lead. If we will just release and let it be that way. I would just as soon let all wounds heal in time without worrying about who deserves the blame. I would just as soon there'd be no heroes in wars. Though you win, you lose, it all turns out the same. I would just as soon we find a compromise so nobody dies in a senseless fight over how to divide the earth or seas or skies. There's a way, and there's an ease to the life we lead. A dream of peace, there's a dream of peace not so far away. Force and a flow, there's a force and there's a flow to the life we lead. If we will just release and let it be that way. Now with sing-alongs as in life, just when you're getting the hang of it, that part is over, so let's give it one more try. There's a way, and there's an ease to the life we lead. Dream of peace, there's a dream of peace not so far away. Force and a flow, there's a force and there's a flow to the life we lead. If we will just release and let it be that way, we can do it one more time. There's a way and there's an ease to the life we lead. There's a dream of peace not so far away. There's a force and there's a flow to the life we lead. If we will just release and let it be that way.
Oh, Jim. Oh, I'm so glad you chose that one. Wasn't that a beautiful song? I kept trying to get the words into the chat for y'all, and I couldn't keep up. I tried. I'm sorry, but they got some of it. I love that song,
Yes.
and it's perfect for these times. Just perfect. Thank you, Jim. All right, got another one?
Yeah, just when we thought it couldn't get any crazier. But all we can do is, I guess, start at home, build out from there. And this is a song of community that I've been singing for a long time. I didn't write it. The great Brazilian composer Ivan Lins wrote this melody. He had different words to it, and he let us, when I first joined the Paul Winter Consort, he let us take that melody and put new English words to it. So it's called Common Ground, Liz, and the chorus is really simple, in 2 languages. In a circle of friends, in a circle of sound, all our voices, V for voices, if you can spell, voices will blend when we touch common ground. Voices are calling round the earth, music is rising in the sea, the spirit of morning fills the air, guiding my journey home. Where is the path beyond the forest? Where is the song I always knew? I remember it just around the bend. In the village, the music never ends. In a circle of friends, in a circle of sound, all our voices will blend when we touch common ground. Somewhere is the melody we need. There is a certain harmony, even a rhythm in the trees, in the song that we've always known. As every road comes to its end, so every path must cross again. Now I'm returning to my heart, back to the song that is our own. In a circle of friends, in a circle of sound, all our voices will blend when we touch common ground. Let's do that one more time. In a circle of friends, in a circle of sound, all our voices will blend when we touch common ground.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Ooh. That was neat what you did at the end there. Beautiful. I bet a lot of you remember that song. I sure do. I could almost hear the saxophone, Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they get in the way.
Yeah, but finally you get to shine, right? None of that saxophone covering you up all the time.
Well, it's pretty nice. Yeah, Paul Winter has that amazing sound. He was not the world's fastest, most glorious sax player, but this sound that sounds very soft and mellow is actually very loud. And used for any woodwind players out there, uses a hard reed and is not what you think it is. This ethereal thing. When he plays from a mountaintop or from the balcony of the Cathedral of St. John or something, this thing echoes all over. So that was a lot of fun to play in that group for
One
years.
of our listeners said that she hears me louder than you. Is anybody else having any trouble hearing Jim? Just shake your head if you're not. Good. Okay. All right then. The person who said that, you might just try to turn your computer up or something. All right. Carry on.
We can do that, I think.
No.
I was commissioned to write a song by the Unitarian Universalists. I've been, that's been my sort of life thing. I started in the Universalist church, and my dad had always said he was a Unitarian. I didn't understand that until there was this merger of the two. So it'd make this tongue twister, Unitarian Universalist. So they gave me some money and said, write a song. And I wrote this song, and they said, "Oh, that's too complicated. We can't put that in the hymn book." So I was disappointed, but I got a good song out of it. I think it is. I was trying to address that great mystery, whatever, the great whatever, a god, the goddess. Maybe it's peace. Maybe it's not a deity. It's nature. It's something else entirely. The figure of speech I came up with is harmony. Oh yeah, and Liz, I sent Liz the words. I don't usually sing this as a sing-along, but you can. If you don't know anything about music, the double sharps won't bother you at all, and and you can sing along just fine. Peace is a rolling sea, so full of mystery. I feel its harmony in ebb and crests. Peace is a work of art that moves the open heart. Peace is a place to start and final rest. Harmony of harmony, I hear you sing to me. Let it wash over me, let it begin. Harmony of harmony, unfolding melody. I am your instrument, let peace begin with me. Peace is a beacon bright that brings us inner sight, a radiating light, conquering fear. Peace is the wild bird's call, the painted leaves in fall. Peace is the health of all, I feel it here. Harmony of harmony, I hear you sing to me. Let it wash over me, let it begin. Harmony of harmony, unfolding melody. I am your instrument, let peace begin with me. Harmony of harmony, I hear you sing to me. Let it wash over me, let it begin. Harmony of harmony, unfolding melody. I am your instrument, let peace begin with me.
Wow. Oh, harmony of harmony. Wow. Jim, I want to read you a couple of things because people are really chatting it up about you. Madge says that she heard the consort from the balcony of the Grace Cathedral in San Francisco. And Nancy Henderson, who's another old friend of mine, says, I've enjoyed your work for many years, Jim. I have 2 of your songbooks and try playing some of my favorites from time to time. Bless you for blessing us with these well-crafted songs, enlivening lyrics, and complex harmonies. Yeah.
Oh,
Well said, Nancy. Yeah. And you know what, Jim? I think you cranked it up a little too far. There was a little distortion that time.
Uh-oh.
So
Okay.
I would crank it back a bit. And when
Okay.
I said turn your device up, I meant the listener. I didn't actually mean you because nobody else thought you were too soft except one
Okay.
person. So yeah, don't I just don't
Okay.
want you to.
We're working on that.
Yeah, yeah.
My engineer friend Dan Tynan is right here off camera, and he's helping me because
Yeah.
I'm
Thanks, Dan.
I'm electronically challenged myself.
Right. Well, I think what are we doing now? I think
Um,
should we do the one that we planned?
um, what did we plan?
The one we're gonna do
Oh,
together.
Getting older.
Duh.
do I have time for a song before we do that?
Well, if we do, we might not have time at the end for the other.
Okay.
Why don't you save it,
Yeah.
and then if we
Okay.
if
Well,
we have time, we'll do it. Okay.
let's talk about that. We both know this song from different roots. Um, it's an old Russian song. I've it's probably not a folk song, but we don't really know who wrote it, and it's been attributed to all kinds of different people. And I just never was happy with the words that I originally heard for it. It's not a complete sentence, and Conan the grammarian that I am,
Yeah, it always confused me too.
it's poetic, it's nice imagery, but I thought I will translate that differently. And then, in a rush of irrational exuberance, I got carried away and I added two verses to the song. So, but the chorus sound. So I'll get the verses in there. The verses are mine, but this chorus is an old Russian song. Um, Oh, now I've forgotten what it is in Russian. I thought it was such and such, such and such. I thought that was the name of the composer. And then someone said, no, that means old Russian folk song. So it goes like this. If you'll humor me, my version tonight. May your life be as a song, resounding with the dawn, to sing awake the light, then softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night. And it's around. So we might have even tried it as a round with the delay that we inevitably, unfortunately get, but let's not do that tonight. But, well, tell us the way, take us back in history before I wrote that 25 years ago.
Well, some of you may recognize a song that you might have heard a little differently because this is how I heard it, and I think this is the more old-fashioned, uninventive, simple version. But it goes like this: if the people live their lives as if it were a song for singing out of light, providing music for the stars to be dancing circles in the night. And then we do a hey, because it's Russian. But that's not the way we're going to do it tonight.
And the proletariat marched to the fields.
Right.
Well, here's one more. It would sound like this in Russian. Наши жизни мы должны сокать света звук, пропеть его в ночи, чтоб звезды слушали во сне, и хоровод водили в тишине. Isn't that nice? Everybody! I love to do that. So somehow I went from Russia to Brazil. I'm not sure what happened. My wish for you, as now we part, is for greater peace to fill your heart with dreams as vast as starry space. So hurt and anger know no place. May truth be shared and wounds be healed, and joy for living be revealed. Through every fate and circumstance, may hope lead weary steps to dance, and may your life be as a song, resounding with the dawn, to sing awake the light, then soft ever dancing circles in the night. May fears be turned with keen insight to wisdom for what's just and right. Where sorrow grows, compassion strong, and pains will pass before too long. May the bounds of our diversity serve a richer harmony. May courage hold your heart so true to smile on love when it smiles on you. And may your life be as a song, resounding with the dawn, to sing awake the light, then softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night. So this turns out to be a 4-part round. So if you're lost, you can just sing the same line over and over again. Let's try it. And may your life be as a song, resounding with the dawn, to sing awake the light, then softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night. May your life be as a song, resounding with the dawn, to sing awake the light, then softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night, ever dancing circles in the night. Ever dancing circles in the night.
Oh, yeah. What a feel, that bossa nova feel. Who knew? You know, I mean, if you can put bossa nova and Russian together, you can create world peace, Jim. I think we should put you in charge.
Well, I think
That was
that's kind of the
awesome.
root of what we call world music.
There you go, world
And
music.
can I jump in? You had something that's so appropriate a segue, but I wanted to, before we forget it, to say this weekend I'm here in California to do the Missagaya Earth Mass in Santa Rosa, California, at the Glazer Center in Santa Rosa, 3 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. It's with the California Redwood Chorale. Some of the singers that sang it with us at Grace Cathedral many years ago, and one of your fans there just said she heard it at Grace Cathedral, I think. Um, and I'm playing Earth Day concert in Davis, California tomorrow night at the Unitarian Church in Davis, California.
Nice,
So
nice.
thanks. That's what we're up to this weekend.
Now we put the URL to your website in the chat. Are these events posted on your website so people can
Boy,
find
they're
them?
they're not on the website, but
Okay. Well, when you're hanging out while I
but
do
don't
my
forget
thing
them.
for a while, put something in the chat about it if you want to.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, that'd be great. Jim's going to be back, and that was so awesome. That was just gorgeous. Woo.
Let's hear
So,
Betsy Rose. We were talking. You have something
yes,
so
I do.
appropriate
I
to go
do.
right from there to there.
We are the Russia-Ukraine. We're in the Russia-Ukraine segment now. So As it happens, I was inspired a couple of weeks ago to write something that is not a song. I actually do write little poems sometimes. And some of you are familiar with the Buddhist story. This is going to get to Russia in a minute, but via Buddhism. So the Buddhist story, the classic story of Buddha sitting under the Bodhi tree, having wandered for 7 or 8 years, trying to find that kind of magical way of orienting oneself to the truth of life, the truth of suffering, so that one can still know happiness and peace. And nothing he tried had worked. So he's sitting under this tree and he's saying, I am not getting up until I figure this thing out. So he sits there prepared to sit for days. And this demon figure named Mara, and Mara, of course, shows up in every tradition in some form as the demonic tempting presence, right? Christians might call it Satan, you name it. Mara shows up to try to distract and dissuade Buddha, to throw him off his track. And the first thing he uses is violence, because that's where people without a lot of imagination usually start. And he threw arrows at the Buddha, and the Buddha's silence and his presence turned the arrows into flowers. They passed through him and turned into flowers. And then he tried temptation, the traditional dancing maidens, the fine foods, the champagne, and Buddha was unmoved, totally unmoved. So then the Mara says to Buddha, who do you think you are to imagine that you could be enlightened? And I may know of no more destructive words that someone can say to another to try to just punch a hole in their gut than to say, who do you think you are? And the Buddha puts his hand on the earth, Mother Earth, and he says, the earth is my witness. I have lived many lifetimes, evolving, growing, doing good to others, kind of perfecting the compassion, and the earth knows my story. And then he invites Mara to sit down and have tea with him. And this has become a sort of classic Buddhist teaching about inviting your demons to tea. It's sort of, it's got a great metaphoric meaning. And Liz is actually going to put something in the chat about that. There's a whole article in Psychology Today about what that means to invite Mara to tea. But it's basically take that thing in you that you most don't want to deal with and sit down with it and make peace. So my little writing is called Inviting Putin to Tea. There is this human, this family member, Uncle Boris. He drives me nuts. Do we have to invite him, I ask? He's such a bore. He talks funny. He's always telling those stories, how they took this away from him and robbed him of that, how he only wanted what was his, how he can wrestle any enemy to the ground. He's ugly. He's bald. He wears old war uniforms and carries a knife in his belt. Old Uncle Boris. And year after year, all my favorite people gather. The good, funny, sweet, kind, cousins, aunts, siblings, old friends. We drink tea, we laugh, tell stories, cry a bit. And then there's Uncle Boris. No one really wants to talk to Boris, but he grabs the floor and it's the same old story. The resentments, threats, old injuries and victories, war stories even the children are tired of. One year, we have a new guest, someone's friend and her daughter. We add a leaf to the table, gladly. Nice folks, we say to each other in the kitchen. Glad they came. So off goes Boris again. Same old story, same old song. Children squirm, eyes roll, chairs scrape as there is an exodus to the bathroom, the kitchen, to a suddenly remembered appointment. Gotta run. Thanks so much, everyone. Then this guest child, all innocence, comes close to Uncle Boris. Can I touch your knife? She asks. Boris is startled, hesitates, frowns, then slowly pulls the knife from his belt. She explores it with her eyes, her fingers. The other children are riveted. This is new. They slip out of their chairs and come closer. They reach out to touch. What do you use it for? A little boy asks. Ah, to keep wild animals away, Boris says, making a fierce, almost playful face. And to protect myself, he says. To be strong. Have you ever hurt anyone with it? Asks the little girl, eyes round and wide, and she touches his arm. She looks up at his face, her voice as pure as a tiny mountain stream flowing out from under ice. Boris is silent for a minute. I see his throat working. Some shadow crosses his face. I only did what I had to do, he says in a low voice we had to strain to hear. I had no choice, he mutters. His eyes have shifted down, as if looking at a lost landscape, dark and distant. I'm sorry, she says. That sounds scary. Were you scared? And all of us at the table are holding our breath, forks frozen halfway to mouths. I feel a prickle of tears behind my eyes and see other faces that are strangely still and soft. Boris slowly tucks his knife away and reaches for a crumbly sweet from off the plate. We are quiet for a long time. I would love to say that from that day on, Uncle Boris was the life of the party, a jovial, laughing uncle whose lap welcomed all children. But this is not a fairy tale. Whatever magic there was here lies deep underground, those fresh waters that spilled over into our midst out of one little girl's eyes. But she may not come to tea again. But I will say this, that my heart and the table have grown larger. And when I see Uncle Boris or any of his distasteful company, with their knives and uniforms and stories and peering hooded eyes, I don't harden and cringe and slam the door of my heart. There is a tender place now, a sorrow as wide as my deep connection to those I love. And I understand family in a new way, and I vow to find a place of welcome for them at the table. Let's sing a lullaby that I think goes awfully well after that. It's by Libby Roderick, and it's a lullaby to people halfway around the world. Cradle of Dawn. Here's the chorus. Probably some of you know this. Go to sleep, welcome the night. I will be here in the morning light. Slip into dreams, you've done all that you can. I'll hold you here in the dawn. Sunset in your country, sunrise in mine. Lay down your body, feel mine begin to rise. Sunset in my country, sunrise in yours. I feel you there in the dawn. It'll come around a few times, so it's in your lyrics. The forces facing us are terrible indeed. My hope may flicker in the night, but in the morning I will plant another seed, and while you sleep it seeks the light. Go to sleep, go to sleep, welcome the night. I will be here in the morning light. Slip into dreams, you've done all that you can. I'll hold you here in the dawn. Sunset in your country, sunrise in mine. Lay down your body, feel mine begin to rise. Sunset in my country, sunrise in yours. I feel you there in the dawn. There are no promises that we will see the day. The dreams we live for will succeed. But I can promise you that halfway around the world, I'll hold the light up while you sleep. Go to sleep, welcome the night. I will be here in the morning light. Slip into dreams, you've done all that you can. I'll hold you here in the dawn. Sunset. Sunset in your country, sunrise in mine. Lay down your body, feel mine begin to rise. Sunset in my country, sunrise in yours. I feel you there in the dawn. Go to sleep, go to sleep, welcome the night. I will be there. Slip into dreams, you've done all that you can. I'll hold you here in the dawn. Oh, I forgot one more verse. Here we go. We need a quiet place to let our spirits be, somewhere that we are safe from harm. So my beloveds, as the moonbeams touch the sea, rest in the cradle of the dawn. Sunset in your country, sunset in your country, sunrise in mine. Lay down your body, feel mine begin to rise. Sunset in my country, sunrise in yours. I feel you there in the dawn. I'll hold you here in the dawn. Rest in the cradle of dawn. This is a new song to me. I just discovered it. It's so beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Isn't that gorgeous?
I
Libby
could
Roderick. Yeah.
hear some harmony on that chorus.
Oh yeah. Well, Jim, you got to come back to this side of the world when we can sing in the same room.
Well,
We were all
okay,
set to do it, and
I
then
consider that an
got to. I got to.
inviolate invitation.
It is. It is an eternal invocation, and maybe I'll get out to the East Coast too.
Well, yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Did I mention to you just personally? Tell everybody, we are right in the midst of moving. Everything is insane. We're halfway between one house and the other right at the moment, so everything is totally.
We've all been through it, Jim. It's
Oh.
not easy. Yeah.
So we'll have a nice place for you if you come.
Oh, lovely. Okay, then it's all worth it. Lovely. I
Yeah.
hope it lands well, and I hope you have a wonderful time.
Bring
here
your
on the
significant
West Coast.
other too when you.
Oh, no, I can't get him out of Berkeley.
No.
So, Jim, we have time to either do the Moon song or the one you wanted to do. And before you do either of those, you can think about it.
I forgot to count before that. I did all my songs before, and that was totally inappropriate. I said, "Can I do one more song?" I did. I'd substituted one, and I didn't tell you, so that was.
No worries. I just want to make an announcement before everybody starts dribbling away, as they sometimes do. I just want to say that we're going to meet again on May 18th, and sorry, I am so ahead of myself. May 18 minus 7 is 11 minus 7 is 4. Something like May 4, the first Thursday of May. And our theme, we always kind of have a mother's theme during May. And oh gosh, May polls, we have so many themes in May. But my guest artist is going to be none other than Harmony Grisman. Now, if you're not just lighting up at those words, it's because you don't yet know harmony. And she's sort of an iconic California singer, especially Bay Area, very beloved among the Womamu crowd. And I know there's some Womamu women making music people. But anyway, Harmony's going to come join me. She has a beautiful lullaby that she wrote inspired by Ukraine, that she wrote for her daughter. So come back on that Thursday, and we're going to go into a summer schedule after that. I've got a really big summer. I think you know that my son is getting married. These young people, they're so old-fashioned. Goodness gracious. And my brother's coming over from France. My sister, the whole family's coming down. We got a new baby in the family, little 2-week-old Freya. So it's all happening at the Rose family. And so I'm going to have to cut back a little bit on the singing, but I'll let you know. I'll give it all to you, tell you all about it. The last thing I want to say is tonight, if ever you were going to donate, I always say this, tonight is the night, because a friend of mine, Yael, who sometimes comes here, just emailed me today to tell me she was going to Poland. She's heading for Poland to do relief work. She was living in Costa Rica or something. And she just got the call. And we all know what that's like, to get the call. And some of us are fortunate enough to be able to answer it. So she's heading to Poland. She's working with the Andre's World Kitchen, which we've donated to twice from these evenings, but also a new group called Poland Welcomes. They're brand new. They're just getting going. They're finding homes for especially Ukrainian children, but Ukrainian people. So we're going to donate to Poland Welcomes tonight. So my friend will be so thrilled to know that. You all know how to do it. Liz will put it in the chat, how to do the PayPal thing. And again, I want to thank you for your cards and handwritten checks, you old-fashioned sweethearts, you. I just love your cards. They're all over my walls, and I thank you so much. So, yeah, so that's it for announcements. Try to find Jim's concerts. I think he put some stuff in the chat. I know if you can get there, I know you're dying to get there. It's been such a pleasure, Jim. And would you like to sing your lullaby, and then I'm going to sing mine? Jim, you need to unmute yourself, honey. You look great swaying, but you need to unmute. I do it all the time. Can you get it? Liz, he may.
I thought you were unmuted.
Yeah, you're not.
Sorry.
Yeah, okay, you don't have to yell.
You're good.
If we were muted, all right, let's try that again. It'll be easier to sing along if I'm unmuted. There's a moon out my window and it's smiling at me. There's a moon out my window and it's smiling at me as it sails through the night for the whole world to see. There's a moon out my window and it's smiling at me. That's the chorus. And a little well-known songwriting trick that I admit I haven't used all that much myself is, if you want people to sing the chorus with you, make 3 out of 4 lines the same words. There's a moon out my window and it's smiling at me. There's a moon out my window and it's smiling at me as it sails through the night for the whole world to see. There's a moon out my window and it's smiling at me. There are stars out my window and they're twinkling bright. There are close ones and far ones that fade out of sight. I tried to start counting, but I can't get it right. They're like billions of diamonds flung out in the night. There's a moon out my window and it's smiling at me. There's a moon out my window and it's smiling at me as it sails through the night for the whole world to see. There's a moon out my window of sunlight lands right on my head. They're saying, wake up, it's another day, get out of bed. There's a moon out my window and it's smiling at me. There's a moon out my window and it's smiling at me as it sails through the night for the whole world to see. There's a moon out my window and it's smiling at me. There's a moon in the daytime every once in a while, and each time I see it, I just have to smile. It took a wrong turn in the night sky, I guess. Up there in the dark, why the traffic's a mess. There's a moon out my window and it's smiling at me. There's a moon out my window and it's smiling at me as it sails through the night for the whole world to see. There's a moon out my window and it's smiling at me. There's a moon out my window and it's smiling at me. Uh-oh. Did we lose it? I'm not here.
Betsy, unmute.
I see. I did it. I did the same thing you did. Oh, I was being so clever. I was saying I'm going to segue right in because they're so similar. I didn't know Jim's song. He didn't know mine.
Yeah.
Do you know the stars are singing all night long, and the earth is safely spinning all night long? Do you know the moon is smiling all night long, all night long, just for you? You are part of all this music. Sing all night long, all night long, and your heart will never lose it all night long. You were born for dancing to it all night long, all night long, just for you. The chorus is just all night long, all night long, all night long, all night long, just. We're having a lot of muting trouble. All night long, all night long, all night long, just for you. A dark cocoon enfolds you all night long. Sing that lullaby. I distracted myself. Like a blanket, night will hold you all night long. Sky above and earth below you all night long, all night long, just for you. Do you The stars are singing all night long, and the earth is safely spinning all night long. Day is ending and beginning all night long, all night long, just for you. Let's all sing it. All night long, all night long, all night long, just for you. All night long, just for you. Oh yeah, Jim. Oh yeah. Let's unmute and give Jim our heartfelt thanks that we can hear. Yeah. Thank you, Madge. Okay, come on, let's make some
Thank you,
noise.
Jim.
Woo!
Oh, yes.